All right, ladies, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to be back with you all for part 2 of Proximity to Power. Coach Jen here, and we're going to be getting started here momentarily. Just a little bit of housekeeping for those of you who are just joining in. This is our opportunity every time we come together to get to network and to connect. So if you've just joined in and you haven't gotten into the chat yet, would you head into the meeting chat for me? I want you to just say good morning to everybody. Say good morning to everybody. I want you in the chat to say good morning. Let us know where you're viewing from. Please let us know the name of your business. This is how we get to meet each other. Am I getting some feedback? Are you all hearing some feedback? No, I think we're good. Okay, good. I just want to make sure you guys are hearing clearly. So do that for me. Will you go ahead into the meeting chat? Will you please let us know where you're coming from, where you're watching from, what's the name of your business? We have so many new CEO chicks over the last month coming out of our mastermind event in Orlando. We want to make sure that you guys are connecting to each other, that you're learning who each other are and what you do, and that we're finding ways to collaborate amongst ourselves. So super excited to get going. Let's dive right in. I'm going to share my screen really quick with you all. 1 second here. All right, you are seeing my screen now. So excited to be here, you all. We are now diving into part 2 of Proximity to Power. And this first session was great. I got some really great feedback from you all after the session. I would love to hear how you all took your takeaways and homework and really got started with that. So we're definitely going to get into that as we get started here today. But as we kind of step back and take a look at last week's session, how many of you all were here for last week's session? Will you just give me a little hand raise? Let me know you were here. Shoot me an emoji. You were, okay, good. I see a few of you. We're here for part 1. So awesome. For those of you who were not here for part 1, I definitely want you to go back and listen to the replay so you can get caught up. I'm going to give you a quick little snippet of the kind of keys that we took away from last week as we dive into new information this week. But I spent some time talking about statistics, right? The numbers, the income, the revenue that minority women are earning in business compared to their non-minority counterparts. It was astounding to see the difference, and not in a good way. And as I started to research and really pray about it and look into what it is that I could be helping teach you all to level up in your income and business, I heard proximity to power, and I've learned this in my own life and shared some great stories in the last session. So make sure you see that. But 3 keys that come out of being in proximity to power, being close to people who can help impact your business, your livelihood, the trajectory of your business, are 3 areas. When you're in proximity to power, you will be cultivated. So cultivation happens. That's your own growth and development. Exposure happens. You being exposed to new things, new opportunities, new ways of viewing your business, new industries, and then opportunity. Out of those relationships, partnerships, we expect for opportunity to come your way. And as you can see in this diagram, oftentimes we get you, that superstar out there on your own, like a lone ranger. And the whole goal from this session or these sessions is to help you get into the center of that circle. Move from being the lone ranger out there on your own to really come in proximity to power, build powerful partnerships that are going to bring those dollar signs in the center of that circle. And that's where we want you to be. So we talked about really how to get yourself into those positions, how to be able to understand when you're in a position with someone who's powerful and when you're not, and really understanding those characteristics so that you can take the chance now to start to shift. You know, we're just coming out of Q1, at the top of Q2 of this year. There's still plenty of time for you to hit your goals in 2023, but it takes strategy, and that's what this is all about. So at the end of last week's call, there were a couple pieces of homework that we had for you. I wanted to build your top 10 list. That's those top 10 people that you believe, if you're in proximity, in partnership with them, you're working with them, that you would be able to see new opportunities, cultivation, exposure, all those great things. So I'd love to know, you can just raise your hand again. We'll get those emojis going. Raise your hand and let me know if you were able to get your top 10 list built. You could also just put it in the chat and say yes. How many of you were able to build your top 10 list? Awesome, Leslie. Thank you. Anybody maybe already had their top 10 list? You know, you weren't on the call last week, but you know probably the top 10 people that you need to be networking with in order to take your business to the next level. Awesome. Natasha did great. Awesome. All right. So this word I want you to pick up. If you miss this, then I want you to go back and get it done. I want you to watch the video, and I want you to come back and make sure that you do this so that you have the opportunity to catch back up. What you'll learn today is also going to help you prepare that list. So don't worry if you missed it. You're going to get it. Good morning. Welcome. The second part of our homework last week was getting a LinkedIn profile built. You know, when we talk about getting in position with people who are powerful, many of those powerful people are utilizing LinkedIn. They are not necessarily going to be your customer, right, that you're on social media interacting with, but they may have those profiles, but you're going to probably learn a lot from them on the business side of things, what their area of expertise is, how to connect with them, see who they're connected with on LinkedIn. And so I asked everybody to take some time to get into LinkedIn and to build a profile. So checking in. Anybody get started or finish your LinkedIn profile from last time we met? It's been 2 weeks. Go ahead and give me hands up. I'd love to see it. Yes, on my way, getting started. It's on my to-do list. Good, Danielle. Leslie again. Star student of the day. Go for it. She's got it in. Fantastic. Awesome. Ooh, Natisha did a new photo shoot for updated headshots. I love it. Good deal. That's what I'm talking about. We're leveling up, ladies. All right, good. So that's where we kind of finished things to give you really fast clip notes on last week or 2 weeks ago session. Again, go back and take a look at it. Those are the items that I want you, if you haven't done them yet, add them to your to-do list. And I really want you to lean in and make time to get those things done. Today, we're going to talk about new topics. We're going to take that strategy, the theory, the understanding of proximity to power that we talked about last time, and we're going to really dive right in to be able to take action. Nothing happens without action. We can theorize, we can talk about hypothetical situations, we can strategize and sound all smart and businessy all day long. But when the rubber meets the road, it's when you make time in your schedule to actually move forward on these ideas. And that's what I want to do today. I want to connect the dots so that you can start to take action even while we're on this call. There's 3 things we're going to talk about today specifically. Building a contact map is one. I'll explain shortly. Research tools to find power. Research tools to find power. I'm going to get you started with a list. And then last but not least, your homework is going to be creating your 2023 action plan. And we're going to talk about that. I know that the year is well underway, but there is no time lost. All right. This process that we're in is a marathon, not a sprint. And so get involved, get started. Let's take action.
She's on a whole class.
Go ahead and mute your line as you join in. Thank you for joining. Good to see you today. So what we'll do is start with a contact map. And I know this is a really interesting picture. Most of you have probably not seen something like this before, but a contact map is literally a roadmap. It's a map. It's telling a story. And I know it doesn't do much of that for you now, but I'm going to explain how you're going to begin to set up your contact map to get yourselves into relationship, contact with positions and people in power. All right. So the way this diagram works, all right, this contact map that we're building out, and you guys literally, if you have a piece of paper, if you've got, Word document open on your computer, you can start to sketch this out for yourself. But the position of power, as you can see, is at the very top. That's where the money is, right? That's where the money is. So that individual, that person, that position at the very top is where we're headed. So when you think about your top 10 list, you may have multiple contact maps based on if those 10 people are related at all to each other. If they're totally unrelated, you're going to have 10 contact maps. Does that make sense to everybody? If the top 10 list that you named, those people or those positions, remember, if you didn't know their names yet, but you knew it was the mayor of a city, right? You know that mayor, that position, that government position, right, is going to be at top. If they're unrelated in your top 10, then they're probably not going to show up on this map together. That means you're going to have 10 different contact maps. All right. If they're related some way, right? That it's, government just keeps coming to my mind. It's kind of so easy when you think of organizations, right? That the governor may be at the top, but the lieutenant governor may also be a position of power, a person of power that you want to get connected to. Well, they're connected to each other. So we're not going to really put them on two different maps. We're going to put them together on this same map. Is that making sense to everybody? How you would start to think about this specific document, the contact map, and the people that will start to go on it? Can you give me a yes in the chat or give me a thumbs up on your emoji? I want to make sure you guys are tracking before I proceed. Good. I'm getting a yes. Thank you, ladies. Yes. Okay, good. So what you're going to do is, with this goal of this map, is to define that person at the top and begin to understand who are the individuals that are connected to that person, that you can start to work your way from the bottom of this chart up to the top to make contact. If you don't have a direct way to immediately get to that person and call them or have a text with them, then you're going to need this contact map, right? So each map could be different. It may have lots of people on it. It may have very few. They could be really simple. It could start with just 1 or 2 people on it because that's all you know. But as you start to meet people and you find somebody else that's connected to that person, you add them to the map. This is a document that should be ever changing. As you build your strategy, as you start to meet people, this is where you start to link them to each other, right? And you say, okay, I've gotten in with, at the very bottom, you'll see I gave an example, Jane Smith from 123 Mortgage. She's an admin. She's a secretary or the administrator, right? You could put on here their phone number, you could put their address. This document is for you. Whatever information you need to help keep track of these people and how they work together, know each other, could be connected, you'll put it through. So Jane Smith, I know her, and Jane's going to help me get to the CEO at the very top of 123 Mortgage, because at a real estate as a realtor, right? I need that key contact because I need them to be referring me more business, right? That's my goal. My goal is to get to this person to be able to build a partnership. Okay. So a few things you'll notice on here. I've got some colors, right? I like to look at relationships as stoplights. All right. So you're figuring that out here with the red, yellow, and the green. Jane and I are good. I know Jane. Jane knows me. I could call Jane and have a conversation with her pretty easily. So I color code Jane green. I know that Jane has a manager or a broker in the office that could probably leverage. I could leverage that to get to the CEO. Here I didn't put their name in, but let's just say that person's John. So I have an awareness of John in yellow. I don't know John. I couldn't pick John up the phone and just call John. I don't feel comfortable doing that yet. I kind of need to use Jane, but I'm going to fill in John's information in yellow. And then I'm going to kind of give him a yellow because I at least know who he is. I know what my next step is. Do you see how we start to kind of build out this map? If I knew John's name, I had no idea if Jane knows him, I'd put him in, but I wouldn't even color him yellow, right? Because there's no connection. I want to get myself in places where I'm starting to see the map start to mix. Let's say in that same scenario, right? This mortgage company. Remember, I'm the realtor trying to get engaged with the CEO at this mortgage company. I know person on the right in red. I've met person on the right in red. Let's just call them, I don't know, Susie. Susie's on the right. Susie also works at the company. She could be like a VP. She could be somebody I really want to get to know. And let's say I've met her and she wasn't kind. She wasn't open to meeting me. I think she could be what I would call a blocker. She's going to block me from getting where I want to go. Well, I want to know who she is. I want to keep track of her. So I'm going to put her on my map, but I'm going to color her red. All right. That just gives you a way to understand your path. This is literally like a map. It's a journey. Your destination is getting to the CEO at the top of this organization. And through these people, these relationships, you're going to figure out your way to the top. This, as I mentioned early on, is not a sprint. This is a marathon. All right. Sometimes it could be a sprint. Let me just say, you feel like you've got enough value to make a call to a CEO and you've got their phone number or their email. I don't want to stop you from going straight to the top. You have to have the discernment and the preparation and the understanding to know you're ready to do that. And if you are, go for it. And maybe it is going to be a sprint, right? You'll make one quick call and this contact map, boom, you've got your contact. Other areas, it will be a marathon. It's going to take some time to figure out people, to figure out where you want to go, to build relationships along the way, to be able to ask for those meetings, to show value as you go. And so I want you to be prepared in understanding the process, right? That's going to help you figure out your map to the top. I'd love to get your feedback, and I'm going to pause here for questions. On the contact map. I'd love to get your feedback. And then what I'd like to do is maybe hear of examples, thoughts. Let's just talk out loud with maybe one or two of you about how you think you could use this. Who's in your top 10 and who you believe, you want to begin to put on a map. I'm going to stop sharing real quick so I can see you all better. Anybody like to unmute and share your thoughts? Who's on your top 10? If you're understanding this, any questions at all? Are you guys going to be a quiet group today? No questions? Everybody's got it down. Leslie, our superstar student of the day.
I had a feeling you're gonna call on me. That's funny. Hi, everyone. I'll come on camera so you can see me.
Oh, you're so sweet to even do that.
Hi. So I have my list,
Okay.
and based on the map, I'll give an example. So my goal is to teach yoga to big companies. So like Google, Facebook, like those are people on my companies that are on my list. And I realized like if I want to teach to like Google, for example, I would need to talk to HR reps. So I put them at the top, but I don't know if that's like correct.
I love it. You're so spot on. And you know what? Lots of corporations and companies now in HR will have a benefits, like a head of benefits or wellness initiatives. That's like a big deal. And when we get ready to talk about our research methods, I'm going to show you a little how we can search for those people.
Okay.
You're spot on. I love your example, and I could totally see you teaching yoga. You know, this is kind of a neat thing because when we were in, obviously being somebody who was in corporate America, especially during COVID, I felt like companies did a great job of offering additional opportunities, right? To take care of yourself and to grow and develop. And I think that a lot of that momentum is still there,
Yeah.
but maybe not as, they're not as pressed, right? Because
Right.
people go out and do things. But there's still a segment of people who want to be at home, who want to do from home. So you are like in the vein, good for you. You're exactly right. And just to give you a few ideas. So if you're the VP of benefits or of wellness, sometimes they'll be called total rewards. VP of total rewards. That's like, they're going to be the people that look at benefits and compensation, all of that. They're going to be like the high person. But you know what? That person at the very top may not be the person that actually even needs to make the decision. There could be a director of benefits. There could be a HR, a manager that could help you get in. And those are going to be the people that are in the lower areas of this map that you definitely want to start with first.
Okay. I wrote all those titles down. Yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah, good stuff. Great example. Thanks for stepping out there and getting on camera, seeing your beautiful face. All right. Anybody else? Did that resonate with you all? Thank you for sharing, Leslie. Was that helpful for you guys to kind of hear someone else's example and be able to kind of align it with what you're trying to do? Let me know. Hands up. Yes, that was helpful. Good. Thank you, Dr. Sherry, for jumping in there. So I'm going to close kind of the portion here on the contact map because I want to talk to you about research. Because sure, you may know the person at the top, but how do I find the other people? How do I know if this company is a company I want to work with, or this person works for a certain organization? How do I start to kind of do a little sleuthing, right? And understand how to position myself better. That's what I want to talk about next. I've kind of targeted your research into 3 areas. These are not only the 3 areas that you can use. Let me go back to sharing real quick so you guys can see. We're going to look at, obviously, social media. I want you to take a look at some general websites that are going to be helpful for you. And then I want you to be thinking about local opportunities, how to begin to position yourselves in positions of power with other people. All right. Social media. I labeled 3-4 different sites here, and LinkedIn is a big one. LinkedIn is really where I feel like you're going to get the most bang for your buck. These resources that I'm giving you are free, but there's a lot of information out on LinkedIn because it's self-published, right? These individuals are putting out who they work for, what they're interested in. You can even see articles, posts that they're liking and commenting on. So you start to figure out their map. you can see a person of power and then also figure out, oh, they're involved with this local organization. Ooh, maybe I should be involved with this local organization, right? Because I would have an in and a way to begin to work with them, right? So LinkedIn is one of the first that I really want you to begin to dive in. You literally can use the search bar at the top of the browser or on your phone to search people's names. You can search company names. You can search titles, all of those things. So you could even put X company and the title, and it's going to start to show you the people who have had that title in the past or even present. So really begin to use that as a way to start to search. Instagram, you're going to find people, their personal pages. Same with Facebook. Some people in position of power are going to use these social sites really well at a high level, and you're going to get to understand them as an individual and find ways to connect with them personally. And then there's going to be others who just aren't, right? Everybody's a little different when it comes to this. And so I want you guys to be thoughtful to, based on the type of site you're looking at, the social media, what you're going to get out, right? LinkedIn isn't going to be as personal, but you're certainly going to find out about their business and their business pursuits. Instagram and Facebook, you may find out about their family, you may see their hobbies, but all of these are things that are intel, right? It's tools that kind of go into your backpack so that when you get that opportunity, that appointment, that phone call, you want to be using all of this intel to show that you have an understanding of who this person is, how you're going to be able to bring value to them, and how they may find you to be valuable to what it is their goals are. Okay. The last is Reddit. Have y'all been on Reddit before? Reddit can be interesting, but Reddit is a huge way to kind of conduct market research and analysis. People commenting, putting their ideas out, thoughts. It's very easy to search a topic. Again, if you guys haven't seen Reddit before, definitely check it out. When you're searching for someone, let me just go back to Leslie's example, right? Corporate yoga, right? So she's not only trying to get in touch with corporations to start to offer yoga, but maybe are there other programs out there already? You could be not Googling, so I say Googling because now that's how we search everything, but you could be searching in Reddit for corporate wellness yoga and see what kind of comments come up, what kind of string, what kind of conversation is out there. And be very targeted and very broad. It's just kind of one of those nice things, grab a glass of wine on the weekend and decide you're going to do some market research, right? You just sit down and kind of dig in. But that's another site that I think will be interesting for you all because it is such a pool of data. It's full of goodness. You just got to get in there and kind of search and figure things out. So that may not get you as much to the person, but it could get you intel to help understanding the people and those that you want to get around and be around. All right. I saw some chat going on in our meeting chat. I'm so glad you guys keep staying engaged there while we're chatting. Any questions on social media? Let me go back. Questions on social media. Love it. Oh, yay for the collab. Dr. Sherry had a great question. Danielle answered versus training and workshops. Yes, in HR, you're exactly right. Many large companies will have local HR that's going to manage things like that. That's another great comment as well for you, Leslie, when you think about, trying to tackle Goliath, it's like Google is a Goliath. So, working your way into locations, maybe other offices that are in technology around your area so that you can show, hey, I've done this at a local level before you try to go to a higher level. There's levels to this thing. So definitely start there. Awesome collab in the chat. Love it. Seen Reddit, but never engaged. Good. Oh, thanks, Madonna. She's saying valuable info and a great reminder. You can forget about tools. Exactly. And oftentimes it's just so simple. These are tools that I use all the time in my work in sales, because I'm constantly looking to meet new people and engage with new people. So I'm glad to share it with you all. But this, I think, is going to be a game changer for the way that you position yourselves. That's enough on social media. I'm going to pause there. General sites, Google Alerts, Dun and Bradstreet, and then I put Reddit again because it kind of comes up a second time. When you're thinking about looking for information on a company, on a person, a great way to do that is to set Google Alerts. Have you guys ever set Google Alerts, or are you familiar with it? Anybody familiar with Google Alerts? I'm going to pull up another screen. Oh, I got numerous screens going here. I'm going to pull up another screen because I want to show you alerts. So the way that Google Alerts works is that you have the opportunity. I'm going to share a new screen with you guys real quick so you can see. I want to teach you exactly how to do this now. One second. There we go. All right, y'all are seeing it. So Google Alerts, I literally, google.com/alerts gives you the opportunity to monitor the internet for information that you want to know about. So instead of you sitting down and searching on a regular basis to see what's going on with a company or a person, you would be able to put in an alert and Google will email you on a regular basis. It could be daily, it could be weekly, but now instead of, being kind of reactive searching for information, you're proactive. And as something comes out about a company or a person, literally on the internet, you will get notification of it. And this is really great because we call these in our business triggers. So if there's a trigger, something happens in the market, something happens with a person or a business that finally makes perfect sense. Like the timing is now for me to reach out because I see a trigger that I can help support. For instance, I sell technology and compliance. If a company has an audit issue and all of a sudden they have a problem and the government is auditing them and it goes out on Google, I want to know, because the thing that I sell serves that purpose, solves that problem. And so I want you to be aware of these triggers, things that are happening so that you can be right on time with the right message, engaging that person. Okay. So let's think of an alert or a trigger that we would want to see. It can be super specific. So let's see, somebody said today they were in Orlando. We could search, look, it's already starting to tell me things that are happening in Orlando. What in Orlando is happening that's important to me? Real estate. If I'm in real estate, and we could say the word crash. Look, see, it's going to pull up car crashes. We don't want that. Real estate, let's say market, and leave it at that. All right. So anything that's going to have Orlando, real estate, and market, I'm going to create my alert, right? Is it going to pull anything up? I think it's not going to pull it up now. And unfortunately, I'm on a computer. I can't go to my email immediately and see it while I'm on with you guys, because what's going to end up happening though, is it's going to pull that information. Let's pull another one. So at least you can see the kind of data they're going to show you. Leslie, what do you want to see? Yoga. What would be important to you?
Corporate yoga. I don't know if that would.
Yeah, let's see. Look. Latest trends in corporate wellness training. And this preview, essentially, I don't really have to show you email. This is what pops up in your email. So they're going to email you an email with these articles. But look at the very first thing, latest trends in innovation in corporate wellness training. Boom, right there. So now you're getting this article as it comes out. Somebody put this article out from Corporate Wellness Magazine. And as soon as it was published, you're seeing the latest innovation. And now guess what? That's information that you can use as intel, but it's also information. You could maybe use information from this article to put out yourself copy
Right.
that kind of data. Now you're using it in your social media. So you're using trending information, right? To kind of attract your buyer in a different way.
That's helpful. That's very helpful. Thank you.
Good. I'm so glad. Let's see, what else did they put down here? Anything else that looks, some of them at the top, usually they're better, right? And then like the searches kind of get, not as accurate as you go down. But this is the cool thing about this is your alerts, you can come back here. So it's going to save your alerts based on your email address. You guys will see it. Hopefully some of you are doing it right now. If you've got another screen, or you can do it on your phone, they'll come back and you'll say, you know what? I don't want to just say yoga corporate. I now know that wellness is the word that I keep seeing. So I want to use wellness training. Maybe you want to do specifically Google, because you mentioned that as a target company, right? And then you can start to see what's going to come up with Google and those. So these alerts can be modified and changed, and you should, because you want it to keep refining your search for what it is that you want to see. So Google Alerts is a really good one. Was this good? Is this helpful, guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let me stop sharing that one. And then let me go to talk about the next topic, which was kind of local, because I don't ever want to forget. Like, sometimes I think that we get so tied into like what's on the internet, what's on social media, that we forget good old face-to-face local connections can be a gold mine, right? And so I think it's really important to kind of go back and think about ways that you can, even if you've been in the same geography, same town, you born, raised, grown up there, you think you know everybody. I want to implore you that you don't, that there's going to be connections, people, especially at the levels that you're trying to go, that you're just unaware of. The cool thing about when you go local is once you start to meet new people, I find it all the time. I'm like, I don't know you. You start to have a conversation. And I'm like, wait, but you know this person? Oh, but I know that person. But oh, you know who? Wait, I went to school to them. And before you know it, you have a brand new person, but you really are connected to them through numerous people. And that can be amazing, because that already starts to build what we talked about last time, the know, like, and trust. Oh, so if you're good with X, Y, and Z folks, then you're going to be good with me. Let's connect. So places locally, right? Sherry said in the chat, yes, so true. People still appreciate face-to-face connection. I am telling you, it matters. It really does. So Chamber of Commerce, you don't have to become a member. You don't have to be there every single week, but when they host open events, you should go. School boards. There are people of power on school boards. You may have absolutely nothing to do with education and not even care. You may not even have children in schools yet, but the people who sit on school boards are generally business owners in the community. They are not always people in the government, but clearly they have some interest in government policy. Those opportunities are great to begin to see who sits on those seats, right? Who are those people? You don't necessarily have to be at school board meetings, but starting to understand those who are in positions of power in your local government can be very helpful to you. Fundraising events. People who are powerful, people who are high income earning people, business owners are generous people. They are going to galas and fundraisers and golf events and things that are raising money for other community organizations. And a great way for you to begin to mix and mingle with people in position of power is to attend these events. This could be a Google alert that you set. Fundraising event and your city, right? So that as things start to get published, tickets get to be sold, these events start popping up, you're getting them in your feed, and you know that you can begin to start to attend and be a part of these events. That's going to be really important. And last but not least, I put sports, but what I was really thinking about is golf. Have you all ever heard how deals are made on the golf course? right? Deals are made on the golf course. And I would say I'm not a golfer. I would like to and aspire to, been to the driving range a few times and have been to golf events. I usually just decide that I'm going to drive the golf cart for people. I'm like, you play, I'll drive and have drinks. But I want to challenge you to think outside of what you've done before. You know, people at golf courses generally are people of positions of power, right? This is important. I think that it's great for you to stretch outside of your zone and learn something new and get connected to new people. Tennis. Coach Christina, you all know here at the network, she started taking up tennis because she became a part of a club in Lake Nona and the ladies all played tennis. That was the thing. And so she started playing tennis with this new group of ladies about a year and a half ago, and has made some amazing connections with all of these women who are in positions of power that play tennis for fun. So I know that's not normally, I will say, culturally our thing, but we are trying to step out of our zone and put ourselves in positions where we are bumping shoulders and having conversations with people who can get us to where we need to go. So I want you to stretch and think about doing something different this year. All right. So 3 areas of research. Hopefully you guys screenshot this or you wrote it down in your notebook. Of course, the presentation is always going to be available inside for you guys to follow up, but these are areas and ways I want you to start thinking. If we're going back to that contact map, let me go back. Once I start to know these people, how am I getting to them? Where am I going to meet them? What do they have going on in their lives that is interesting, that I could provide value to or find a connection, right? So this is where our contact map and our research start to come together, okay? So let me go to what is always homework. We got some time left, our homework today. So you're going to map it out. I want you to start on your contact map or maps, right? Depending upon how many you need. This takes time, thought, strategy, a little bit of peace. So you need to mark time in your calendar for this period. I'm going to sit down for an hour. I'm going to think about who are the key players in my industry, in my community, maybe not in my network at all, but I want them to be in my network. And how am I going to start to research them and find ways to get engaged? Okay. And then I want you to build out those maps. Remember, if you don't know the people yet, but you kind of know the positions, put the position names in first, put the company names in first. Where do they work at? Whatever you got. And remember, that's a living, breathing document. That's why I really like to build mine like on Google. You could do it on Google Sheets. You could do it on like the Google PowerPoint version, right? Like you're building a PowerPoint slide, you put them in and you can kind of update and move them and change it. You could do it on PowerPoint itself, right? You can do it on a piece of paper, whatever you need to do. Just know, get it down and be willing to make adjustments and changes as your strategy changes. All right. Ooh, Jamboard. Natisha, what a great idea. Love some Jamboard. I haven't thought about that one in a minute. That's another great tool. Exactly right. Canva, you can start a little presentation in Canva and just leave it in an edit, you know, use your little squares or circles, zhuzh it up however you like to, but that's going to be a great tool for you as well. And then set dates. I want you to begin to set dates so that you have the ability to say, okay, I know who the people are, I'm starting to follow them. I want to make some of that first and second level contact by this date. If we don't put dates to it, I'm telling you, we're going to be sitting here talking on, what is today, April 27th. We're going to blink and it's going to be Christmas. And time's going to be up. So you got to start to give yourself some time frame around where you want to go in this. Some it's going to happen fast, some it's going to be slow, but keep setting benchmarks and then keep moving towards it. All right. I put this at the very bottom, it's not about the immediate outcomes. It's about the consistent daily actions you take over time to reach power. This is a journey. You have to begin to love the journey and the process. I don't know if you all will remember one of the examples I shared when we were at the mastermind was about Tony Robbins. And I think I shared it in the last class, but essentially, his coach told him he needed to get in touch with a new area of people, business brokers, or I think financial advisors, somewhere around there. And it was people he didn't even know. And it took him almost 2 years, and he did build great relationships, and he had these great friendships out of these people, but nothing had really happened. And then all of a sudden at year 2, one of them called up and had a multi-million-dollar deal for him to come and be a part of. But it took 2 years of building relationships and not knowing exactly where it was going to go for it to just take off. And so I want to encourage you to enjoy the process. Enjoy building relationships with people, enjoy finding ways to bring value to people in your industry, in your community, and it's going to happen. You'll keep climbing your way to power and not only bring great value to great people, but receive what you need to take your business to the next level. So I am so excited, ladies, that we are coming to the end of our time. I really hope that this 2-part series has been powerful and helpful to you in thinking about your business in a new and different way. Please get into the Facebook group. Make sure that you're posting questions if you have them. Share wins when it comes to this. If you're taking action and you're getting meetings and you've had an aha moment, we want to hear that from you guys. So please make sure that you're sharing that. A couple reminders as we're finishing the call today. I want you to save the date. If you are in Orlando, Thursday, May 25th, we're going to have our Orlando chapter mixer. More information is to come, so please save the date for May 25th in Orlando if you're there. New York and Tampa, we got dates coming to you very, very soon. And check your emails for one-on-one coaching. We do have that available and want to be here to help support you even deeper. So ladies, stay connected to each other, to what's happening here at the network. I look forward to hearing about great things as you get yourself in proximity to power. Again, it's Coach Jen signing out. Thanks so much. You guys have a wonderful day. Take care.